President Putin has delivered his address on the occasion of Victory Day. He said, and I quote here, Russian forces are defending the motherland in Ukraine. Putin also added that Russia was facing absolutely unacceptable threat in Ukraine. And that's the latest that we have on the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Remember, Russia is displaying its military might. It can be seen in the visuals, in fact, on your screens. Russia celebrating its Victory Day, celebrating the Soviet Union's big win in the World War II. And there's a strong message coming in from the presidents of both the nations, where the Russian President Putin delivered his address saying that Russian forces are defending the motherland in Ukraine, and added that Russia was facing absolutely unacceptable threat in Ukraine. Meanwhile, not to forget that, in fact, a Ukrainian President Zelensky has also asserted that we won then, we will win now. These were the words of the Ukrainian president as the war continues, as the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. Remember, it was only yesterday that, in fact, a school was bombed in eastern Ukraine, and 60 people seeking shelter in the school not just feared, were eventually reported to be dead. And today, this is the update on the anniversary of World War II. It's once again Putin versus Zelensky, and I'm being joined by my colleague Srinjoy live on the broadcast. Srinjoy, a very good afternoon to you. Clearly, there seems no end, and like you put it, the war is bound to continue. There is no end. It was only yesterday that, in a very unfortunate incident, a school was bombed and over 60 people were reported to be dead. And today, once again, war of words.
Well, President Vladimir Putin has made it very clear that the war is going to continue. Because if he had said in his speech, Victory Day speech, that, we have achieved all our objectives, we have done whatever we needed to do, and so on, then you could have imagined that perhaps, yes, the war would gradually come to an end, because the Russians are saying they have fulfilled whatever they have wanted to achieve. But clearly, President Putin has not said that. And instead, he has made it very clear that the war will continue, be fought to an end. And it's very important to remember that Victory Day is really the victory over the Nazis. The Soviet Union was invaded on the 22nd of June 1941, and a huge price was paid by the Soviet Union, which of course includes Ukraine and Russia. About 25 million people, civilians and soldiers, paid with their lives to defeat the Nazis. And the war ended with the Soviet army in Berlin. So it is a big moment. It was a big anniversary. And yet, on a day like this, President Putin is making it very clear that war will continue and the war will be fought to an end. So clearly, there is no sign that the war will stop. There is no sign that anything is being thought of, a ceasefire is being thought of. India has been speaking of a ceasefire. India has been speaking of a dialogue. India has been speaking of humanitarian aid and, of course, the UN Charter. But at this point, there seems to be no end to this conflict.
All right, Srinjoy, thank you for all those inputs.